I'm 80 years old, been black in America all those years, and I need to tell you something that damn near killed me to learn. Working twice as hard don't mean nothing if nobody's keeping score. And in this country, when you're black, nobody's keeping score for you. They're too busy moving the finish line. My name is Ella Jenkins. I'm 80 years old. 3 months ago, I had a stroke. Minor one, thank God, but it put me in the hospital for a week. That's when my daughter brought me a box from my office. I say my office, but it was really just a corner desk at Patterson and Associates, where I'd worked for 42 years. In that box was everything they thought mattered from my 4 decades there, fit in one cardboard box. You know what wasn't in there? The proposals I wrote that made partners rich. The clients I saved when nobody else could reach them. The Christmas parties I organized for 20 years. The young associates, white ones mostly, I trained who went on to make partner while I stayed senior administrative coordinator. That's what they called me. Fancy title for doing everything while getting credit for nothing. But here's what was in that box. A coffee mug that said World's Best Assistant, a plaque for 30 years of service they gave me at a lunch nobody important attended, and 3 folders of my own performance reviews. I read every single one in that hospital bed. Exceeds expectations. Exceptional work ethic. Invaluable to the team. 42 years of exceeding expectations. You know what that got me? A pension smaller than what the partners spend on their summer homes. That's when I finally understood. I'd spent my whole life working twice as hard, like Mama told me to, believing that merit would matter. That excellence would speak for itself. That if I just kept my head down and did exceptional work, somebody would notice. Somebody would see. Nobody saw. Or they saw and didn't care. Same difference when you're black. Let me take you back, because you need to understand how deep this goes. I'm talking about a whole life built on a lie we tell our children. A lie that Mama told me, that her mama told her, going all the way back to when we thought freedom meant the chance to prove ourselves. We've been trying to prove ourselves for 160 years, still waiting for the test results. I was 23 when I started at Patterson and Associates. 1968, same year King died. Same year everything was supposed to change. I was one of the first black people they hired who wasn't cleaning the building. They called it progress. I called it a job, and I needed one. Fresh out of community college with a business certificate, dressed in my Sunday best, because Mama said, you gotta look twice as good to get half as much. I believed her. Everybody in our community believed it. That was the deal, right? We work harder, dress better, speak clearer, smile wider, stay later, come in earlier. We be exceptional. And eventually, America would have to recognize it. I was so proud that first day. Me, Ella Jean Jenkins from the 3rd Ward, working downtown in a real office building. Mama cried when I told her. My aunties talked about it at church for weeks. Ella got herself a good job with white folks. Downtown. Like I'd made it. But here's what they don't tell you about being the first. You're not just doing your job. You're representing. Every mistake you make reflects on every black person who might come after you. Every time you're late, every time you mess up, you're proving something to white folks who are watching, waiting for you to fail so they can say, see, we gave them a chance. So I never messed up. I couldn't afford to. I got there an hour early every single day for 42 years. Left an hour late most nights. Learned every system, every process, every partner's preferences. Made myself indispensable. That was the strategy, right? Be so good they can't ignore you. Be so valuable they have to promote you. I watched Michael Patterson III, yes, the 3rd fumble through his first year. Kid came and hung over half the time, left work for golf, forgot meetings, lost files. You know what happened to him? They made him partner at 32. Said he had leadership potential. Meanwhile, I was 35, training him on how to talk to clients, and still getting introduced as the girl at the front desk. I wasn't at no front desk. I was managing half the firm's client relationships. But that's what they saw. That's all they saw. But see, I told myself stories. I told myself it takes time. I told myself they're watching. They're learning to trust me. My time will come. I told myself all the things we tell ourselves to keep from seeing the truth. That merit is a myth they sold us to keep us working. When I was 40, they hired Jennifer. White girl, blonde, right out of college. Bubbly. Called everybody Han. Forgot things constantly. I spent 2 years training her, showing her everything. 6 months after I trained her, they promoted her to office manager. That was supposed to be my job. I'd been doing that job, without the title or the pay, for 12 years. I went home and cried that night. My husband Charles, rest his soul, he held me and said what he always said, "Baby, you just gotta keep working hard. They'll see." Charles believed it too. We all believed it. The whole generation of us who grew up being told that education and hard work was the answer to racism. Like if we just performed well enough, white folks would forget we were black. So I kept working, trained Jennifer's replacement when she left for something better, then trained her replacement. Watched a parade of white women half my age walk through that office and up the ladder I was holding for them. I wrote the proposals they presented. I saved the clients they almost lost. I covered for their mistakes and laughed at their jokes and made them look good because that was my job. The invisible job underneath my job. And I kept telling myself, this is how you build a career. This is how you prove yourself. This is how you make them see you're just as good, no, better, than everyone else. By 50, I'd trained 11 people who ended up making more money than me. By 60, I'd written proposals that generated millions in revenue. By 65, when most folks retire, I was still there because my pension wasn't enough, and I'd never made the salary that builds a good pension anyway. But I kept showing up, kept exceeding expectations, kept being exceptional. Here's what haunts me. I wasn't stupid. I saw what was happening. I watched them promote the mediocre white folks over the exceptional black ones. I watched them give credit for my work to people who could barely spell. I watched them build careers off my labor. But you know what I told myself? At least I have a job. At least it's stable. At least they respect me. They didn't respect me. They used me. There's a difference. The thing about invisible labor is that it's designed to be invisible. Every time I stayed late to finish someone else's work, I thought I was being helpful, being a team player, showing my dedication. I didn't realize I was teaching them that my time didn't matter, that my work had no author, that I could be excellent in the shadows while they stood in the light. I missed my son's high school graduation because there was a crisis at work. Turned out it wasn't a crisis. It was just something that needed to get done, and I was the one who always got things done. My son said he understood, but he shouldn't have had to understand. I should have been there. I missed my daughter's recitals, missed family reunions, missed my own life, working twice as hard for people who would forget my name the day I left. When I was 70, Charles died. My husband of 48 years. The funeral was on a Thursday. I was back at work Monday because we had a big presentation Friday. I wrote that presentation. Tom delivered it. Tom got a bonus. I got a card that said, "Sorry for your loss," signed by people who couldn't spell my name right. I should have quit right then. Should have walked out and never looked back. But I didn't. You know why? Because I'd invested so much. 40 years. I kept thinking, just a few more years. Just until I can retire with dignity. Just until they finally see everything I've done. That stroke 3 months ago, I had it at my desk. On a Sunday. I was there on a Sunday, finishing work that needed to be done Monday. Work that wasn't technically mine, but that nobody else would do right. My daughter found me slumped over my keyboard 2 hours later when I didn't answer her calls. 2 hours I laid there in that empty office, surrounded by other people's success that I'd built. In the hospital, hooked up to machines, my daughter crying, my son angry, asking me why I was even there on a Sunday. That's when something broke open. Not just in my brain, in my understanding. I'd spent 60 years believing the lie that merit matters. The lie that hard work pays off. The lie that if you're twice as good, you'll get half as far, and that half is worth it. I'd spent 60 years being exceptional for people who saw me as ordinary. 60 years making other people's dreams come true while my own dried up like a raisin in the sun. You know what I realized, laying in that hospital bed? They weren't ever going to see me. No matter how hard I worked, how early I came, how late I stayed, how exceptional I was. Because the game was rigged from the start. Merit isn't real when the people judging merit think you're only capable of service. I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm not saying don't be excellent. I'm saying be excellent for yourself. Build something for yourself. Demand credit for your labor. Demand to be seen. And if they won't see you, if they keep you in the shadows while standing in your light, if they keep moving the finish line every time you get close, leave. Walk away. Stop participating in your own invisibility. That's what I finally did. 77 years old, I quit. Didn't give 2 weeks. Didn't train my replacement. Just sent an email that said, I'm done. Effective immediately. My daughter thought I was crazy. My church friends said I should have waited for retirement. But see, I'd already waited. Waited 60 years. I was tired of waiting for them to do right by me. Here's what I learned in these last 3 years of my life. Freedom feels better than approval. Peace feels better than proving yourself. Being seen by people who love you matters more than being invisible to people who use you. I'm 80 years old now. I spend my days with my grandchildren. I go to the park. I read books I never had time for. I take naps because I'm tired, not because I'm trying to squeeze rest between shifts of invisible labor. I cook Sunday dinner for my family, and I'm actually there to eat it with them. I finally have time to live the life I spent 60 years earning. But here's what kills me. I have maybe 10 good years left if I'm lucky. 10 years of freedom after 60 years of bondage to a merit myth. 10 years of being visible after 60 years of being invisible. That math don't add up. And that's why I'm telling you this. Because you're young. Because you still have time. Because you don't have to learn this lesson at 80. Listen to me. They're lying to you. Your parents mean well, but they're passing down the same lie their parents told them. That if you work twice as hard, you'll get half as much, and that half is worth it. It's not. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your children's memories. It's not worth your peace. It's not worth becoming a ghost in your own life. You think working harder than everyone else will make them see you? They see you. They just don't value you. There's a difference. They see you enough to use you. They see you enough to extract your labor. They see you enough to benefit from your excellence. They just don't see you enough to compensate you fairly, promote you equally, or credit you honestly. That's not about your merit. That's about their morality. And you can't work hard enough to fix someone else's morality. Here's what I wish somebody had told me at 23. Your labor has value. Your time has value. Your presence has value. And if the people you're giving it to don't recognize that value, you're in the wrong place. Period. Don't wait 60 years to figure that out. I know what you're thinking. But Ella, I need the job. I need the stability. I have bills. I have family counting on me. I can't just walk away. I thought that too, for 60 years. And you know what? I still had bills at 77. Still had family counting on me. Still needed stability. But I walked away anyway because I finally understood I can't take care of anybody if I'm killing myself trying to prove I'm worthy of being seen. And here's the real truth. That stability you're sacrificing yourself for, it's not real. They can fire you tomorrow. They can replace you with someone cheaper. They can restructure and eliminate your position. That stability comes with an expiration date, especially for us. Especially for Black folks who they hired to check a box and kept around to do the work nobody else wants to do. You want real stability? Build something for yourself. Invest in yourself. Create value that you own, not value that you give away to people who won't even remember your name. Start that business. Write that book. Create that art. Do the thing that matters to you, not just the thing that makes them richer. And if you're going to work for somebody else, and most of us have to, at least for a while, demand to be seen. Demand credit for your work. Demand fair compensation. Demand promotions. Demand respect. And when they deny you, when they gaslight you, when they tell you you're not ready, or you need more experience, or you're too aggressive, or you don't fit the culture, leave. Document everything and leave. Don't wait. Don't make my mistake. Because here's what working twice as hard teaches them. That you'll accept less. That you'll keep performing for scraps. That you're so grateful to be in the room that you won't demand a seat at the table. That you'll carry their ladder while they climb. That your labor is free, your time is unlimited, and your dignity is negotiable. Stop teaching them that. Stop working twice as hard for half the credit. Start working appropriately hard for full credit. And if they can't give you full credit, full compensation, full recognition, full respect, find somewhere that will. Or build it yourself. I spent 60 years being exceptional for people who thought I was ordinary. Don't do that. Be exceptional for yourself. Build a life you don't need to recover from. Create work that has your name on it. Invest in relationships with people who see you, not people you have to perform for to be seen. Time is the only thing you can't get back. I know that now. I have maybe 10 years left. 10 years of finally living after 60 years of proving. That ratio is haunting me. Every day I wake up now, I think about all the days I gave away, all the moments I missed, all the life I didn't live because I was too busy being twice as good for people who saw me as half as worthy. Don't let that be your math. Don't get to 80 and realize you spent your whole life building somebody else's dream while yours collected dust. Don't sacrifice your children's childhoods for a company that will replace you before your desk is cold. Don't give your best years to people who give you their leftovers. The merit myth is designed to keep you working. It's designed to keep you hoping. It's designed to keep you sacrificing. It's designed to keep you invisible while they profit from your visibility. It's a lie that's been killing us for generations. Let it die with my generation. Don't pass it on to yours. You are already worthy. You are already valuable. You are already enough. You don't need to prove that to anybody. You don't need to work twice as hard. You need to work for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your dreams. You need to demand what you're worth and walk away when they won't pay it. I'm 80 years old. I finally learned that lesson 3 years ago. I got 10 years, maybe, to live it. You got your whole life. Do the math. Make a different choice. Be free now, not at 80. That's all I got to say. That's my testimony. I'm sharing this because I love you, whoever's reading this, whatever young Black person still believes that working twice as hard matters. It doesn't. What matters is knowing your worth and demanding others recognize it too. What matters is being seen on your terms, not theirs. What matters is living your life, not performing for theirs. Share this with every young Black person you know who's staying late, coming in early, doing extra, working twice as hard, believing it'll pay off. Tell them Ella said it won't. Tell them Ella said their time is precious. Tell them Ella said be excellent for yourself, not for people who can't see your excellence anyway. Comment below if this hit you. Tell me I'm not alone in this. Tell me you learned this lesson earlier than I did. Or tell me you're still learning it. Either way, tell me. Because we gotta start talking about this. We gotta stop telling our children to work twice as hard. We gotta start telling them to demand twice as much. To expect equal payment for equal work. To walk away when they're not getting it. Subscribe if you want more truth from old folks who learned it too late and don't want you to make the same mistakes. I got a few years left. I'm spending them telling the truth. The truth our grandmothers whispered but never said out loud. The truth that might have saved me 60 years if somebody had just said it plain. I'm 80. I'm free now. But I should have been free at 20. Don't wait like I did. The merit myth is a lie. Your labor is invisible by design. And working twice as hard for half the credit will cost you your whole life. Make a different choice. You hear me? Make a different choice. God bless you. I'm praying you find your freedom sooner than I found mine.